Hello and welcome to this video on using digital signature with AgilePoint. Over the next few moments, we'll show you how to configure digital signature as a part of a broader business application. To do so, let's take a look at the app builder. And you'll notice that I've brought up an application that uses digital signature, in this case, DocuSign. That being said, on the left-hand side, you'll see the digital signature stencil, which shows support for Adobe Sign, DocuSign, as well as Certify, though we can easily bring in additional providers with fairly minimal effort. Now, the intent here being to give someone the ability to bring in eSign without understanding DocuSign or Adobe Sign, for example, in any great detail. So let's walk through the steps required to build in this functionality. Now, the first step that I'd like to speak to is the Generate Document activity. You'll notice this is Microsoft Word, and this gives us the ability to automatically assemble a document, perhaps a sales quotation or a legal contract, purely via configuration. Now, if you're familiar with AgilePoint, you know that all of these activities are wizard-based, so I simply walk through the required steps and configure my desired behavior. So let's start off with the source repository for our template. Here, we've built out a Word document with merge fields and stored it in a file repository. Now, in my case, I've chosen SharePoint. So next, I need to specify exactly where in SharePoint this template resides. Okay, so to do this, my first step is to select a connection string. This is a location in SharePoint that I've been given permission to use. So after selecting my connection string, I need to specify where the template lives. So as you can see here, I've selected the root site and a library that holds my template. Lastly, I've selected the template itself. Next, let's walk through the target configuration. Now, this is going to be very similar to the steps that we've just walked through, and this is the location where the generated document will be stored. So again, I've selected SharePoint. Okay. And as you're seeing here, again, selecting my connection string, the site and library, as well as the folder where the document will be stored. Now you'll notice here that we've selected to create a new folder each time this application runs with its own unique name. Okay, now finally, before we get into the eSign portions, we need to walk through how we've mapped in the merge fields in our Word template. So as you can see here, it's a simple mapping exercise where I select the fields on the left-hand side in my AgilePoint process schema and map that to the Word merge fields in my document. So now that we've created a document for signature, the next steps are sending that document for signature and checking the signature status. So as we see here, we have an activity for the eSign request. Okay, now you're going to see a very similar look and feel here for the DocuSign request. The first is the source repository for my template. This is the same library as the completed generated document that we've just walked through. Okay, so again, specifying the exact same library for our completed document. And lastly, the details of the request itself. So again, here I have a connection string that I've been given permission to use for DocuSign. I want to give this document a unique name each time it runs, and that's what you're seeing here. For the sender details, as you can see, this can be dynamic. This could be the logged in user or sent from a service account, so to speak. And similarly here with the signer. Now in our case, for demo purposes, we've hard-coded in a single signer, but again, this could be dynamic. We can always use variables from our Application Data Explorer. Signature details, as well as the response. So in just a few steps, we can configure a request for digital signature. Now you'll notice down below my process model, I have conditions and activities to check for the signature status. Once the document has been successfully signed, I'll want to store the completed agreement. So that's what you're seeing here. I have a step to download the completed agreement. And again, you'll notice a very similar look and feel to the previous steps. Select a repository. Specify exactly where this document will be stored upon completion. And the details of the download itself, including giving this a unique name each time this application runs. Okay, that concludes the content for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.